Once upon a time, there was a man who lived in a forest with his 3 sons and beautiful daughter. One day, a golden coach drawn by a horse came driving up. A king stepped out and asked the man if he could have his daughter for his wife. The daughter, however, recognized his blue beard and realized that he was the one that kidnapped her childhood best friend. She had heard many stories about Bluebeard, and she knew in her heart that she could make things right, so she decided to go with him to get revenge so this would never happen to another girl again. After a day of being at the castle, Bluebeard said he needed to go on a great journey and that he would be gone for a few days. He told the princess, "Here are the keys to the entire castle. You can open all the rooms and look at everything, but I forbid you to open one particular room which this golden key can unlock." The princess knew that this key is what she needed to put her plan in motion, so once Bluebeard left, she invited all of her closest friends over to the castle so that they could open the room together. They were all standing outside of the door, nervous to see what was on the other side. The princess finally opens the door, and she almost drops the key because of what she saw. Luckily, one of her friends ended up catching it. All of them were shaken up by what was in the room, but they knew that they had to pull themselves together and work to overpower Bluebeard, so it was time for some peaceful meditation to get their minds prepared for what was next. A little later, Bluebeard arrives home. The place seems quiet and empty, and the princess was pretending to be asleep on the couch. Bluebeard decides to go check on the room, but little does he know that this is where the princess's friends are waiting for him. As soon as he steps into the room, they grab him and tie him up. The princess comes in and says, "Now you'll never be able to torture another girl again." As she raises up the knife to kill him, he pleads for his life and begs for mercy, but she knows that there must be justice, and she brings the knife down on his heart. Upon his death, all the girls that he killed come back to life. The princess reunites with her childhood best friend, and everyone lives happily ever after. Besides Bluebeard, obviously.
In our retelling of Bluebeard, the princess lets herself be kidnapped by Bluebeard because she recognizes him as someone who kidnapped her childhood friend many years ago. This sets up the retelling of the tale to take on a feminist lens. When the princess is kidnapped and held captive by Bluebeard, she has a plan to end Bluebeard's serial killings instead of just acting like a damsel in distress. Like the original tale, Bluebeard still has a room that the princess is forbidden to go into, but alternatively, she goes into the room with some of her friends, who all support each other when they find the horrors inside. She and her friends have the power over Bluebeard since he does not know that their innocence has been tainted. In the original tale, since Bluebeard finds out that the princess went into the forbidden room, he tries to kill her, but fails because she calls out for her brothers to come save her. In our retelling, we have the princess and her friends save themselves and instead overthrow Bluebeard and kill him rather than calling for help. This switches the stereotypical role of a man saving a woman to a woman saving herself with the help of her friends. Overall, our retelling makes the princess's character more courageous and able to fight for herself, turning her into a feminist character.